Joe Banks, 82 years young, has come to this pond for the last 17 years to feed the ducks.
My name is Harvey Bodega, and welcome to the review of Placid Plastic Duck Simulator, the immersive sim slash collectathon slash physics-based life simulator by the small Italian indie developer Turbolento Games, released in July of 2022. Three things really caught my attention with this game. Firstly, look at the little duckies, they're just floating around. Next, at the end of July, the developer tweeted a screenshot of the game's standings on an apparent list of the quote-unquote most appreciated Steam games of 2022. In this screenshot, Placid Plastic Duck Simulator is ranked number 37, just above, Elden Ring? And lastly, this game's primary genre is labeled as an immersive sim. Immersive sim games are designed to allow the player a huge degree of freedom to accomplish tasks, and many consider this genre to hold some of the best games ever made, like Deus Ex.
How are the drinks here? Great if you like hot piss. Never tried it.
The Thief series,
You gone too far this time, you camel-mannered, tunic-wearing mollycoddle!
Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines,
The ladies call me, oh God, but you can call me Fat Larry with a F-A-T.
and many others. How could this seemingly whimsical little duck game embody that same spirit? We'll get there, but first, let's run through the presentation.
But last month, Joe made a discovery.
Placid Plastic Duck Simulator, PPDS, is a good-looking game created via the Unity engine. In aiming for realism with such a small team, I think that was mostly achieved. The water looks good, the chairs, pool floaties, the grass, etc. is all pretty darn solid. We have a day-night cycle, some weather, and great lighting, but no one is here for the grass and the weather. We're here for the goddamn duckies. This might be the greatest game ever made. I don't know what it is, but these ducks just Marie Kondo spark joy in me. We have the standard yellow, green, other colors. We have print varieties, ducks made out of cement, a cheetah girl duck, Dia de los Muertos duck, a duck that's just fucking edgy, a duck for weebs, and a lot more. I can give this game 27 out of 10 for the duckies, but not everything is so great visually. As you can see, there's supposed to be water there, although this doesn't happen super often. There's some clipping, wonky screen stretching at the sides, and the tube slide interacts with the water very strangely. But all that being said, it's a serene, lighthearted setting with solid visuals. The sound is nice too. Music is good, creating an almost eerie sense of calm listening to Italian radio commercials, music, news stories, etc.
Il nord è generalmente poco nuvoloso, salvo locali aumenti della...
Flash meteorologico iniziando dalle temperature.
Environmental sounds contribute to the calm and the immersion. These are sounds many of us associate with vacation or an escape. A few moments seem a little odd though, and we'll discuss this later. So the sound and the overall presentation is very nice.
The ducks were gone.
But immersive sims are defined by aspects of their gameplay. There are two main mechanics, the duck meter and the camera. As the duck meter fills up, you get a new duck in the pool, which can be any duck chosen at random, although you're unlikely to get duplicates for quite a while. This fills up by waiting the allotted time until it's completely full, releases a new duck, then empties to start filling for a new duck. The other mechanic, the camera, is much more interactable. You have the scroll wheel to zoom in and out, tab to switch ducks, E to switch to a view from the poolside chair. You can also right-click to select a duck directly and take some screenshots. Don't believe me? See, here are all the controls right here. There is basically no gameplay. Your main interaction with the game besides simply experiencing and watching it is time. With no save system, this game continues accumulating more ducks for as long as the game is running. If you quit, you need to start all over again, and your progress of which and how many ducks you unlocked is lost, although your Steam achievements stick around, of course. So you don't directly impact the outcomes. Or do you? No, you don't. At least not from a gameplay perspective, but different events do take place as you watch. Ducks take the slide, they get sucked up by the hydraulic tube, a cruise ship will pass, and many other more rare events will take place as well. come out with it, I don't think this game is an immersive sim in the same way we use it to describe Deus Ex or Thief. I mean, if we avoid all technicalities, it's literally a simulation of ducks floating that is designed to be immersive. More accurately, I would call this game an idler game, which is a genre defined by the primary strategic function of the game being simply leaving the game running with little or no interaction. I sort of went through this whole mental arc of thinking whether or not this genre of games are really games at all, or simply glorified screensavers, or like DVD menus. Throughout this evaluation, I found myself surprised by how much I was whimsically immersed in the world of the little duckies. Perhaps this just touched on my neglected inner child that just wanted to play with ducks in the bathtub. I don't know. However, with all that being said, in watching and thinking about this game, I started to wonder if there was more going on, and came to the point where I think Placid Plastic Duck Simulator may be trying to tell us something more.
Some say the ducks went to Canada. Others say Toronto.
On to what I think the story may be, and there isn't a spoiler warning as we are in speculation territory. What in God's name could the cute little ducky game be trying to tell us? Well, I started noticing a few things that seemed a bit ominous. There's an industrial hatch door. One of your ducks enters the pool smoldering and can set others on fire. Although thankfully there is a firefighter duck. Hopefully he'll get around to putting them out. Your ducks can be knocked out of the pool altogether and into the ocean, slowly floating away. Eventually they rise into the air and disappear altogether. The radio chatter is sometimes garbled and strange, and then it plays this news story in between cheerful music segments.
January 10th, 1992, a container ship traveling from Hong Kong to Tacoma, Washington, loses 12 containers overboard. One of them sets loose thousands of tiny yellow plastic ducks.
They're almost indestructible. I mean, literally 20 years after they hit the ocean, they're still washing up on beaches around the world.
Later, groups of yellow ducks float by. There is an apparent cruise ship that sails by. But where are we? We're on this surrealist little man-made island surrounded by nothing but water. What could this all mean? Okay, this is going to sound ridiculous, and I will justify myself, but I think Placid Plastic Duck Simulator may be suggesting something about climate change. I know, but hear me out. Firstly, cruise ships are running, something notoriously bad for the environment. I mean, look how weirdly the achievement for seeing the cruise ship is worded within Steam. The story about ducks spilling into the water, we know how bad stuff like this is for the oceans and marine life, plastic specifically. Also think about how these bath toys are usually referred to as rubber duckies, while this game is specifically named Placid Plastic Duck Simulator. A reason for this may be that natural rubber takes about 50 or 80 years to decompose, while plastic can take 450 years or longer. Could this be implying the environmental impact of plastic on our oceans? Okay, you're probably not convinced, so let's jump back to the Steam page and read the description of the game. Quote, "The ultimate high-tech rubber duck simulation. Placid Plastic Duck brings you dangerous levels of relaxation. With chill music, dreamy 3D graphics, and many different ducks, your only priority is to float around. 0 ducks given." End quote. Dangerous levels of relaxation. Placid Plastic Duck Simulator. No ducks given. These all suggest perhaps a sort of apathy or uncaringness, but tied together with adjectives like dangerous. The developer's name is also Turbulento Games, translating to turbulent. An interesting choice for a developer who has only a seemingly lighthearted idler game. Could these apathetic and calm descriptors tied with turbulence and danger be satirizing individuals and governments' inaction regarding climate change? Alright, even with that detail, I'm sure many of you are incredulous at best. But then, why does this luxurious tropical resort get snow? Climate change is understood to cause more extreme weather shifts, especially heating at the poles. Could the ducks on fire or smoldering be referencing extreme heat? And the water levels? Have the ice caps melted, submerging most of the world under rising tides? I mean, the platform we're on is some sort of surrealist dwelling in an open ocean. Are we playing as one of the last 1%ers alive who was rich enough to create themselves a luxurious lifestyle knowing that everything else would be engulfed? I'll ask it to you this way. Is Placid Plastic Duck Simulator about sitting back after the world has ended? This calming utopia recontextualized into a cuttingly ironic, morbid, post-apocalyptic experience. All we can do is sit back and play with our ducks. It's all that's left. It's too late. So I'll ask again, could Placid Plastic Duck Simulator be trying to say something about climate change? No, probably not. It's possible, but highly unlikely that this is what the developers were going for. Maybe my jump to such a cynical topic should worry me a little bit. The game is wholesome and lighthearted, almost certainly designed to bring calm and contentedness to those who drop the $2 on Steam or itch.io to experience it. I do think there's something to an idler or similar game with an overly cute and wholesome setting, slowly suggesting something darker throughout the experience. That being said, regarding the game itself, I found myself immersed in this endearing little duck world on its own merits, and had more of a fun time than I ever would have expected from an idler game. I went from thinking games like this were basically not games at all, to thinking that I may have played one of the best of the genre. If you're one of those people who puts on the 10-hour YouTube videos of fires crackling or rain on windows or enjoy white noise, I can suggest Placid Plastic Duck Simulator. Maybe games like this are made for people like me who think maybe a little bit more cynically than we should. Thank you so much for watching. Next video in 2 weeks, I'll tweet out a hint 2 days prior, and I'd like to take a suggestion for a game to cover in a video from the first person who guesses right. See y'all then, have a good one.
But it could be that there's just no room in this modern world for an old man and his ducks.